A recent study by the National Institutes of Health found kids who'd been in top quality childcare scored slightly higher academically when they were teens. And there were other benefits as well, as Dr. Robi Ludwig, contributor to Care.com, is here to tell us. You've got also some advice for us on finding the best childcare for our kids. And we're looking really at toddlers at this point.
Right. And I think the key here, too, is a happy parent equals a happy child. So you really need to think of something that works for the parents and that is really convenient.
That's convenient, that makes you feel good,
That's
too.
cost effective.
That's cost effective.
Has good social options.
So how do you go about, first of all, determining which type of childcare is going to be best for your family?
Well, I think you need to look at the cost. You know, clearly with a daycare center, the cost is a lot cheaper. So that's a great, that's great for kids. It's great for parents. But if you have a job where you're working lots of crazy hours, you may need somebody who's like a second pair of hands. And that's where a babysitter can come in and really works out well for people in that situation.
Who's more in-home care. So you want to look at the cost, look at what your needs are. When you're looking at, let's say you decide some sort of a daycare facility, whether it's an in-home daycare or more of a standalone facility is best for you. What do you look for when you go to that place?
You want to look at the ratio of teachers to kids because you want there to be enough kids, and also you don't want there to be a high turnover. You want an open door policy so that parents can come in and look and see what's going on. You want to ask about holidays and sick day policies. And another thing you want to consider is in terms of just how convenient is it for you? Do you need something that is close to your home so that either parent can drop off and pick up the child? Because drop off and pick up can be a great source of angst.
It's a challenge.
Do you want something that is close to your job so that if your child is sick or you need to work overtime, you can get to the daycare center a lot easier?
And it's really important to visit a place, too, because that's going to give you a feel for it. You can look around, see how clean it is, see what the toys are like.
Talk to other parents, see what the philosophy is. You know, you want to get a sense that it's a really good place for your child, a good place for you, and that you feel comfortable. And always, as with anything else, keep the communication open with you and the teachers that are there.
So that's if you're looking to drop them off somewhere. But if your situation tends to be one where it's better to have an in-home caregiver, I know you say there are certain things you should go through before you even meet someone. When you talk to them on the phone, you need to make sure that they meet certain criteria. What are those?
Are they flexible with the hours that you really need them for? I mean, we've both been in situations where, people check out because the hours really don't work for them. Do you need someone who drives? Do you need somebody who's bilingual? Do you need someone who cooks? You need to think of a babysitter almost as your second wife, your second pair of hands. And they, is this the person that you really want taking care of your child when you're not there?
And be upfront about all of that in the very beginning. No matter how uncomfortable it is.
Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense.
We always know we should ask for references, but then I think it's hard. You get these references and you say, okay, great. How was he or she? Okay, and then what else do you ask? What are the most important questions?
Why did this person leave? I think that's an important question. Did they not meet your needs? Were they not good with the kids? And then ask, how were they with your children? You want to get a sense of who this person is and try to get as much of a picture as you can, which is a little bit tough.
In terms of how they are with your kids, you mean how engaged they are, how they discipline?
Engaged? Do they stimulate your child? Do they read with them? Do they do homework? Do they take them on activities? How involved and active are they?
All things to take into account. How important is age? How important are things like bringing in a family member? Are those ever a good idea, or is that?
Well, I mean, you want to look at age, but listen, if someone has a lot of good experience, that has a lot of value. If a family member is willing and is able to come in and help your child, great. But you can't treat your family member like a hired help. You can't say, I need you to clean and I need you to do this. I mean, you have to work in a different way.
You say, though, if you do bring someone into your home who's perhaps not a family member, you have to treat it as a business.
It is a business. I mean, it's more than a business relationship, but you need that contract because people are coming from different places when you're getting hired. So you need that black and white go-to whenever there's a question. It just helps keep everybody happy.
All right, some great advice as always, Dr. Robi Ludwig. Thanks.